Hello, everyone. Welcome to another discussion for food chemistry. We are now on our week three, and we will be discussing our topic for module three. Okay, so you already did modules one and two. I do hope that you understood all those topics since nobody is coming to the consultation hour. So I hope that you don't have any confusion, so that you don't have any questions, and nobody also emailed me until this morning with regards to your questions or concerns. So I do hope everything is well at your end. Kindly do your studies, kindly practice answering all the questions in the modules because your prelim exam is fast approaching, and your prelim exam will be open camera. It is time pressured, 1.5 hours. So it takes a little practice every day for you not to be pressured during that prelim exam, for you not to be conscious in front of the camera, so you can answer all the questions properly, and you can answer each question correctly. Okay, sorry. I take water first. Okay, so now let us study all about food calories. Okay, so this discussion is very important for us so that we can learn how to manage the food that we are eating, so that because everything that we put inside our body affects our body. So let us be mindful of what we are eating, and let us learn how to be mindful on what we are eating. So allow me to share to you my screen. Okay. For our discussion, we have food calories in the diet. Okay, so what does this mean? Okay, what is a calorie? People are counting calories. People are cutting them. They are being mindful on what they eat. So what calorie is exactly? All right. So when we say calorie, this is the amount of energy that is in food. Our food has stored energy. So specifically, it is chemical potential energy because it is the energy in the chemical bonds of the food. Okay. Now, do you know that 5 pounds of spaghetti can give us energy that is equivalent to brew a pot of coffee? And do you know that if you eat a piece of cherry cheesecake, it is equal to the energy that can light a bulb for 1.5 hours? And if you eat a Big Mac or 217 Big Macs, okay, it is equal to drive a car to 88 miles. So that's how powerful the food calories are. So what is it? A calorie is a unit of energy, so it is the amount of energy. The specific definition is a calorie is the amount of energy or heat it takes to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water per degree Celsius. Okay, so 1 calorie is equal to 4.184 joules. Joules come from the surname of a scientist, James Prescott Joule, wherein he was the one who proposed that energy can be converted into work can be converted into energy, and so on. Specifically, that energy is thermal energy. Okay, now when we associate calories with food, that means that it is different. Okay, so for example, a gallon, which is about 4 liters of gasoline, contains 31 million calories. So the energy that is stored in gasoline is also called as chemical potential energy because it is the energy that is stored in the chemical bonds. Now for food calorie, it is different because the food calorie is actually equivalent to 1 kilocalorie, which is 1,000 calories. Okay, so the lowercase c means calories, which is the regular calorie or the mechanical calorie that we say. However, for food calorie, we use the capital letter C or the uppercase C, okay, which means it is now kilocalorie. So a can of soda having 200 food calories, it is in in the label 200 food calories, but actually that contains 200 kilocalories or 200,000 regular calories. All right? So do you get my point here? Okay? One food calorie is actually equal to 1,000 calories. So if you see in the labels of food, if you see that it is 100 calories, that is actually equal to 100 kilocalories or 100,000 calories. All right, so for the rest of this presentation, we are going to have calorie that is the food calorie. Okay. So, for example, we have 1 gram of carbohydrates. So that is equal to 4 food calories. So the energy that is actually there is 4,000 calories, as well as for the 1 gram of protein and the 1 gram of fat. Kindly take note for carbohydrates and protein, they have the same count of calories, which is 4. While for fat, 1 gram of fat, it is 9 calories. So by here, we can determine that carbohydrates and protein gives us the same amount of energy, while fat gives us the highest amount of energy. Okay, so human beings need energy to survive. That's why we eat. We fuel our body by the food we eat. Okay, and we get our nutrients from the food. Okay, we have our main nutrients: proteins, carbohydrates, and fat. So these are the number of calories that are given by carbohydrates, proteins, and fat. Okay, so again, 1 gram for protein is 4, as well as for carbohydrates, while for fat it is 9. So if you eat 2 grams of fat, just multiply it by just multiply 2 grams by 9, so you actually get 18 calories from the 2 grams of fat that you eat. And if you eat 4 grams of protein, multiply it by 4. So you get 16 calories out from the 4 grams of protein that you eat, and so on. Okay, so later on, we will be counting calories. Okay, so your caloric needs, okay, will be based on three factors. First is the BMR, second is the physical activity, and third is the thermic effect of food. So when we say BMR, that is the basal metabolic rate. That is the amount of calories that our body needs even without the physical activities. Okay. Now, for second, for physical activities, if we are very active, we need more calories in order to fuel our body. Okay. So let us take a look at BMR first. Okay. BMR, or the basal metabolic rate, accounts for about 60 to 70% of calories that will keep our heart beating, our lungs breathing, our kidneys functioning, and to stabilize the body temperature as well. Okay, so that is also called as the resting metabolic rate. Okay, and we will be computing our basal metabolic rate later. Okay, so here it is how we're going to compute. Okay, so we have our formula here, the Harris-Benedict formula. We have for men and we have for women. Why does the formula differ, or why do the formulas rather differ between men and women? We all know men will have a higher basal metabolic rate than women. Okay, so let us compute. Let me share to you my notes, and let us have an example on how to compute for the basal metabolic rate for women. Okay, I will have myself as an example because I know what my data are: the weight, the height, and the age. Okay, so is my screen there or is my notes there already? Okay, I'm deleting everything first. Okay, so I do hope your guys are following. Kindly get your calculator and we will be computing our basal metabolic rate or BMR. Okay, so here it is. I have my screen already. So in my case, okay, so I will have myself as an example again because um, I know my data and you also know your data, so you can compute your BMR as well. Okay, so BMR is equal to 10 times the weight in kilograms. So it must be in kilograms. So in my case, I am 48 kilograms. Okay, now plus 6.25 times the height in centimeters. Okay, so we are we are used to having our height in feet and inches. Okay, so convert that into centimeters. I am 5'1.5" so converting that into centimeters, I am 553.67 tall in centimeters. Okay, minus 5 times the age. Okay, here we go, age. Okay, so I will just disclose my age to you guys. I am 39 years old. Okay, so that must be your age, must be in years, of course. All right. So you have your weight, you have your height, and you have your age. You must have all these three data in order to compute for your BMR. Okay, and minus 161. Okay, this is the Harris-Benedict formula. Okay, so 10 times 48, you have 480 plus 6.25 times 153.67, you have 960.4375. Kindly get your calculators in order for you to follow. Okay, so do not round off your answers, just round off at the last part of your computations. 5 times 39 is 195 minus 161. Okay, so here 480 plus 460 plus minus 195 minus 161. My basal metabolic rate is 1084.43 kilocalories. Okay, this is my BMR. That means I will burn 1084 kilocalories in a day. Okay, that is per day. I will burn that even without working, even without doing physical activities. This is the amount of energy that I need in order for the organs of my body to function very well, in order for my mind to work, in order for my heart to beat, in order for my lungs to breathe in and out air. Okay. So you too can compete for your BMR. Now, um, even though I am not working out, even though I am not doing physical activities, that's the amount of energy that I will burn. So that means I must partake 1084 calories of food in order for my body to function properly. Okay, so how are we going to compute for the amount of food that we must partake? Okay, so we all know earlier we had already our examples on the number of calories the food store. Okay, so you may notice in the nutritional labels of the food in the grocery store that the percent daily values are based on a 2000 calorie diet. Okay, so as what let me share to you my screen again. Oh, by the way, we can use the Omni calculator in the web in order for us to compute for our BMR. Okay, so I will show you the website on how to check for our answer if it is correct. Sharing to you my screen again. Okay. Okay, so here is the website that we can use in order to check if we have we have correct computations for our BMR. Okay, we have here the omnicalculator.com for our health, for the Harris Benedict calculator. Okay, let me check if my screen is there, just like earlier. Okay, it's there. Okay, so my weight again, just enter the values. My weight again is 48. My height is 153.67. My age is 39. Okay. Do not tell anybody about that. Okay. And I am female. So I do have 1084.4 kilocalories of BMR. That's what I'm going to burn even without the physical activities or even without working out. So let us go back to our slide. Okay, so in the grocery store, the percent daily values are based on 2000 calorie diet. Okay, so with that, as we had computed, I have less than 2000 calories to burn. Okay, so that is why we have to be mindful on what we are going to put in our body. Okay, so here are some calorie and fat contents that we have. Okay, this comes from health.howstuffworks.com. Okay, so by the way, credits to the owners of all the slides that I am using or presenting to you. Okay, so our canola oil, these are all for 1 cup serving. Okay, we have the following calorific values that it has. Okay, and the fat gram that it has. Okay, and in your module, I had also attached this one, the number of calories for the usual food that we have. Okay, the rice, and as you may notice, boiled rice and fried rice has different calorie counts. Okay, the more you put in your food, the more fat it has, the greater the number of calories it contains. All right, so there are a lot of um food choices. Okay, so which are your favorites? So you can take a look at the number of calories. Okay, so this number of calories, these are the usual food that we have there in the Philippines, right? Nilagang baka, nilagang baboy. Oh, how I miss this adobo kinilaw. Okay, and so on. So each time you eat, you can count for calories so that you will be mindful whether you want to stay fit or not. It's up to you guys. Okay, so what happens if we take in more or fewer calories? Okay, so we had computed our BMR. That means that is the amount of calories that we are burning even without doing exercise. Okay, so we need that amount of food in our body. What if we exceed, or what if we eat less, or we partake less calories? Okay, so that's the time that we can lose weight or gain weight. Okay, for the ladies out there who are very conscious with their body, you can have this as an exercise for yourself. Okay, so say for example, Faith can burn a 1,100 kilocalorie at rest in a day. So that means that is the BMR of Faith. She did her yoga every day that burns 500 kilocalories. All right, so doing yoga for 500 calories, that means a lot, right? Okay, now help her build her meal plan by completing the table below so she can maintain her weight. So for this, we are going to use what we had earlier. 1 gram of carbohydrates is 4 calories. 1 gram of protein is 4 calories and 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. Okay, so let us go back again to Faith. We will help her maintain her weight so that she will be fit by giving her a meal plan that will suit her caloric values, her caloric needs rather. Okay, so what are the nutrients that are in the rice? It is carbo. In the protein shake, we have protein. All right. Now, let's go to the number of calories. Okay, for 50 grams of rice, 1 gram of carbo again is 4, right? So get your calculator. 4 calories times there are 50, we have 200 calories for the rice. And for the protein, 9 grams times 4, we have 36 calories. Okay, now egg white. What do you have in the egg white? Egg white has protein. Sorry, guys. Okay, for protein, we have 4. 4 times 12, we have 48. And again, we have rice, which is carbo, and we have fried chicken. Sorry, this is fried. Fried chicken is another protein. Okay, 50 times 4, we computed for that earlier. We have 200. And 80 times 4 for the protein, we have 320. Now another protein shake. So she has protein, 25 grams of banana. What is usually banana? Okay, so banana, of course, it is fruit, so it has minerals and vitamins. Okay, but we are excluding vitamins and minerals still here. Okay, so let us have carbohydrates for that. Fruits and vegetables are complex carbohydrates. So 9 times 4, we have 36 for the protein shake. And for the banana, 25 times 4 again, we have 100. Okay, Faith must be very conscious with her body because she is not partaking in any fat at all. All right, so fish is also protein, that is meat. Okay, 50 grams of rice is another 200. 80 grams of meat, 80 times 4, 320. Okay, now, say for example, let's just have fat here. Say for example, during lunch, Faith ate a slice of cake, which is around 50 grams. Okay, so that we have fat here, 50 grams of cake. Okay, so Faith is also having fat. And fat, 1 gram of fat again is 9 calories. So 9 times 50, we have 450. Okay, so we compute all so we can get the total number of calories. 200 plus 36 plus 48. Get your calculator so that you can be proactive. Okay, I want you guys to be proactive in our course. It is your part to pass your subject. This course, not me. Okay, so the total is 1,910 calories. Okay, and now what we are asked is to help her build a meal plan that will maintain her weight. Okay, so the BMR of Faith is 1,100. She does yoga, which can burn 500 calories. So, what is the total amount of calories that Faith needs? 1,600 calories. Okay. Now, assuming that we are not including the active metabolic rate because that is another topic. Okay, assuming we are not including the active metabolic rate. Faith needs 1,600 calories in a day for her to function properly, her body to function properly. Now, in our what do you call this? In our meal plan that we had built for her, the total amount of calories is 1,910. So there is an excess. 1,910 minus 1,600. There is an excess of 310 calories. Okay, so that means we must get out or take away 310 calories from her meal plan so that we can have 1,600 calories that is enough for her to burn in a day so that her weight maintains. Assuming again, we are not including the active metabolic rate. But in real life or in the proper way of doing this, we must include the active metabolic rate. Okay, but again, that is another topic. Is that understood? Okay, so since we need 1,600 calories, what will happen is we must subtract the number of calories of bake. So we added here fat earlier, so maybe we will not let her eat the 50 grams of cake. So we have 450, or we can eat her the cake, still cake, but we lessen the amount of cake. So 310 was the excess, right? Okay. We can have this as 310 and just no, 450 minus 310. Okay, we can have this as 140 so that the equal is 1 6. Okay, so if you add everything, it is 1 6. Let us check if I am correct. 23648 plus 520 plus 140 plus 136 520. Okay, the equivalent is 1 6. So how much fat, how much cake should we give her or should we allow her to eat? So 140 divided by 9, we can allow her to eat around 15.56 grams of cake. Okay, so that's all about calories. Okay, so for your activity, you are going to compute for your BMR and you are also going to build a meal plan. That's all for today. If you have questions, kindly message me on Canvas. And if you want to see me, kindly go to our consultation hour and I am always there online for you to reach me out. Okay, thank you very much and see you again for our next lecture.